Welcome to part 2 of Growing My Way, as we continue to observe the development of young children who are visually impaired. In part 2 of the series, we'll follow our children at 6-month intervals up to the age of 3 years. In this video, we see our children's progress as they reach their 2nd year of life. As you watch how they've grown, please keep 2 things in mind. First, every child develops differently at his or her own pace. And second, though developmental differences are common with visual impairment, they can be minimized over time as children learn adaptive techniques to do the same things as fully sighted children. At 24 months of age, our little ones are not looking like babies anymore. At this stage of development, children are much stronger in their gross motor skills and coordination, enabling them to run and jump. And they're developing much more coordination in their fine motor skills. 2 is an age when children's verbal skills are really taking off. Their vocabularies are growing, and they're beginning to put a few words together to make phrases or short sentences.
Always at the door.
2-year-olds want to be more independent. They'll play on their own and initiate their own activities. And when playing with others, they'll defend their possessions or toys.
Mine or...
Well, he said about mine a lot, actually. He's saying mine.
Yeah. Where's the green one?
Green.
Ethan, our typically developing toddler with no visual impairment, is showing a lot of cognitive growth.
The red one.
Typical for his age, he's developing more self-control and reminds himself what he's heard his parents say about putting toys in his mouth.
Yeah. No mouth.
No.
He knows that one. No mouth.
No. Yeah, he's just been more,
Sentimental without his mommy.
Well, cognitive, he's been growing so much, and he realized, he's just been more attached for some reason to mom now.
Even though 24-month-olds want to be more independent, they can be very clingy and dependent at other times.
4,
5,
Ethan, 6,
6,
Yoda, 7, 8.
8.
Good job.
Vision plays a major role in Ethan's learning.
Let's make a ball. This one. A ball.
He's very attached to mommy.
Ethan has well-developed fine motor coordination and really enjoys scribbling activities.
Okay, let's make another one. Let's make a baby. You tell him, there's a house or something.
Ethan watches Paul and copies what he does, practicing both folding, a fine motor skill, and sequencing, a cognitive skill.
Got a kid in the pattern there, buddy? Good. Here.
Children at this age love repetition, which gives them the opportunity for the practice they need to refine their skills.
Here's another one. One more.
With Ethan being a second child, Paul and Anna are a little more relaxed as parents. They acknowledge that in a few areas, Ethan's skills are a bit delayed when compared to his older brother Joseph at the same age.
And then he'll take pants off and he'll with
diaper
help
off.
diaper off very easily.
Very easy. And he knows full body parts, and he knows where the hats goes. He tells him his head.
Ethan is seeing his brother go potty like a big boy, and so he's starting to sit on the little potty, and we'll take his diaper off and just set him on there, and he's gone a couple times.
Ethan's gross motor skills are just what they should be for his age. He can hop and run and jump with ease.
Can you jump, Ethan? Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop. Hop. We do a lot of reading, and he really interacts with us when we read to him. He has favorite characters, and he'll say their names, and he just really likes books a lot.
Yeah, good job.
What does Pooh like to eat?
Honey.
Yeah. Oh, what's Pooh eating?
Honey.
Yeah, num num num.
Can I see your book?
No. It's my book.
It's your book.
At 24 months, Addison, our toddler with albinism, is making rapid progress in all areas of development. She loves books too.
Door. Did he knock?
This book really sparks her imagination, so she tries to place herself in the story.
Addison, go night-night.
Sit down.
Addison also enjoys imaginative play with her baby doll.
What else does baby want to do?
That? Mouth.
Does she want a drink in her mouth?
As you see, Addison's language and concept development are strong.
Baby turn.
Baby's turn.
It's stuck.
Is it stuck?
Go. Baby's stuck.
Baby's stuck. Can you put red on top of a red?
She knows her colors and can match them, and has the fine motor dexterity to do so while fitting some
Not
peg
red.
blocks together.
2 red.
2 reds, that's right. Good job. Rosie, pocket full of posy, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Do the other.
Addison is becoming much more independent as she makes progress in her ability to do more of the things Melissa used to do for her, like dressing.
She will take her coat on and off. She can zip up and down. She can put on her shoes. Most of the time when she needs a diaper change, she will go get a diaper. We are starting to potty train, but she just doesn't want to do it. She likes sitting on the potty, but she doesn't want to potty yet. We still have problems with depth. If it's the same color, same surface, no changes, she doesn't see the depth. We have to remind her there's a step. If there is a crack or a difference in color, she thinks it's a step. You don't know these things till you have to experience them, but the fall sun and winter sun is brighter than your summer and your spring, and that has affected us some because she will... The other day I was trying to hand her sunglasses and we were outside and she was doing this. She was groping for them, and first it shocked me to death. I was like, she can't see it at all. Well, I looked again and her eyes were closed because the sun was hurting her eyes, and she's doing this instead. Friends.
Pretty.
Pretty. Can you make an A?
A.
Good job.
Jonathan, who has aniridia, has always had good gross motor skills. By 24 months, he's come to enjoy much more play that involves a variety of fine motor and cognitive activities.
Push, push, push. Good job. Do a different color. One of Jonathan's favorite things to do is color, although he may not want to color today, but he normally is a big colorer. He'll sit down for long periods of time and just draw. He also likes to play with his blocks a lot. Likes to play with matchbox cars, work some puzzles, and he likes television, as most kids do. Jonathan's still a little bit behind on his speech, but he is starting to say more words. He says bye, and he'll say no, and yeah, and daddy, and mama, nana, bed, bath. So he's starting to put them together. He's just not in a real big rush to do it. There you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Jonathan can completely feed himself using either a fork or spoon and drink from a cup. He's not as independent yet with his dressing.
Help Mama? Want to help Mama? He's not really dressing or undressing himself at the moment, but he doesn't fight you to help him do it either, so that's fine. Dora's rainbow surprise. Hola, I'm Dora. Do you like rainbows? My mom says that there is a big surprise at the end of the rainbow. Let's go find a surprise. Look, there's the map.
Yeah.
Map. He sees things that I never expected that he would. With my first child, he was never a big TV buff when he was this age. And this one loves having the television on, so I know he's paying attention to it. If you mention something, he'll usually point to the picture if he knows what that picture is. Where's Dora? Dora? Where's Boots? Boots? Where's the boat? That's right, very good.
One of Jonathan's favorite times of day is when his older brother Stephen arrives home from school. He knows that Stephen will play cars with him before he starts his homework.
Let's play cars.
Aha. What's down there? Is that another car?
Playing cars with his brother is one of Jonathan's favorite things to do, and he's happy to share.
We're about done, boy. Can't fit any more.
When we check back in on Theo at 24 months, he's not exhibiting the same progress in all areas as are Ethan, Addison, or Jonathan. Yet he and his parents are working every bit as hard as the others.
Theo's chair, so I sit in it, didn't I?
When a child has a visual impairment, and particularly depending on the severity of that impairment, it really does affect all areas of development.
You can see that we've adapted the seat and the pedals because the seat that come on it was too far back. Stay up there real good. Hold on to both handles. Ready? Say boom, boom. But for little ones like him, it's hard to find a trike that actually fits. So most everything we were going to end up having to adapt for him anyway.
Theo was extremely premature and has very little useful vision. So some of his milestones are delayed, and those that he has achieved have been hard-won. Even though we're no longer adjusting Theo's age for his prematurity, he is in most respects a much younger child than the others.
We've been working on left and right, mostly with just body parts, because I know for him, a lot of times he has to learn on his own body before he can move out. And been working with right foot, right ear, and left ear, and the hands, especially when we're like dressing.
Theo experiments to produce a sound pattern, much like a child with more vision may scribble to produce a drawing.
When you're dealing with a child who has extreme prematurity, one of the things I think is that we have to look at those first few months that they just totally lost because they're in a little incubator. They have their experiences are so limited, and even when they come home, you have to worry about respiratory problems and taking them out. You can't take them here and there, and they have so limited experiences that first year or so that sometimes that in itself can cause that delay in development in all areas.
Theo has continued to make good progress in his gross motor development.
No eyes. It's time to get down. He's got simple commands now. He knows what it has good understanding. No, we're not getting back up there. We're all finished.
Theo is also showing some special talents for his age. He can hum a number of songs all the way through.
Good job! He went through a spell where he was doing all of these songs, and he'd go from one room of the house to the next room to the next room, and he'd sing in each of the rooms until he figured out what the different sounds of each room was and figured out where his boundaries were, where the walls were, because he was listening to the echo off. No eyeballs. He's an eye poker, and which is very, 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 very typical of visually impaired kids, especially extremely visually impaired kids. And the bad thing about it is, though, is it causes eye damage, so it's something that has to be strongly discouraged. Theo, hands down. Theodore. Well, you're not supposed to poke your eyeballs.
Just as any 2-year-old, Theo does not like to be told no. When Dawn calls him Theodore, he knows she means business.
Oh, you want to go bye-bye? I know that.
For some kids, they'll have difficulty with language skills, and language skills are typically built on experiences.
What did you do? You took a sock off. You took a sock off.
Got 2 socks off.
Oh, no. That's the first time you ever done that.
If they've had some medical problems, extreme premature babies, they don't always get to eat by mouth for a while. And just being able to build those movements and the muscles that they need in their mouth to develop good language skills is a real problem for some kids.
He's very texture sensitive in his mouth. He will put just about any kind of toy in his mouth. He will even, push the tongue to the side, which is all precursor chewing and all that, but he won't chew. He was ventilated for about 11 and a half weeks. So, he, by all rights, he has a right to feel this way about things being stuck in his mouth. Theo's been diagnosed with some sensory integration dysfunction. That is why he has such a problem with the textures and stuff like that. One of the best things for that, though, is swinging. And the very best way is to take it down, the 2 ropes down to 1 hook. And that way he does the spinning, and because it just wakes everything up. So, and he usually does. It's a calming, look at it, it calms him. And it just makes him a little more aware of his body and what's going on. And we still don't know how much vision he has because he uses so many different things. It's hard to say. So there are times it looks like he sees a whole lot more, and then there are other times that he still runs right smack dab into the wall. So it's just hard to tell.
When we visit Chloe at 2, we see she has many of the same issues as Theo. Anita and Dawn have become good friends. They get Chloe and Theo together for play dates to help with their socialization, even though Theo is almost a year older than Chloe. During the winter months, when Anita and Dawn must be so cautious with their kids' health, it's especially difficult to participate in activities involving other children.
They have so many similarities in the feeding department. They both resist textures and solid foods. They both prefer liquids over solids. And they both just have such an extreme amount of sensory issues, are easily overloaded and tend to like sameness a lot.
Yeah, but a lot of that comes from they don't have any siblings. And they both come from environments that are relatively quiet. So that all feeds into it. That, and we've both had to put the kids under lockdown through the winter months. That will lead to more delays because they're not getting that constant feedback, the socialization and stuff that they need.
Right back. Thank you. You want to toss it to Mommy again? Thank you. Good job.
While like Theo, Chloe is not talking by age 2, she's made progress in other areas. She's learning give and take and plays interactive games with Anita.
Let me turn around. Oh, there you go. Here. 1, 2, 3. Come on. There you go. Whee! Good job. You want to do it again? Oh, you're being...
Chloe is also responding to simple requests.
Will you dance?
Chloe, will you... are tucked into bed.
Chloe is showing more interest in tactile exploration and is using more individual finger movements. She is manipulating objects more appropriately, rather than simply flicking at them like she did when she was younger. Gross motor skills continue to be a strength for Chloe. Chloe has started going to a preschool 3 times a week, and Anita feels that this has contributed to her progress.
So she's in a much smaller school setting. I think the ratio is like 3 adults to 7, 8 kids. So with her, she didn't go through that whole period being really overwhelmed. She picked up on how to be nice with other children. When we first started, she was the little bully. I mean, she would steal toys from kids, push them, shove them, pull their hair. She didn't really care. She's learning how to be around other people. And skill-wise, she's definitely gotten much more tolerant of hand-over-hand stuff. So I can do and develop more skills with her.
As we've watched our children evolve into 2-year-olds, we've seen all of them grow tremendously. Some of our little ones have grown at a seemingly faster pace than have others, But all of our children and their parents are working diligently to achieve developmental milestones.
Black's next.
And we've seen that an area of strength for one child may be an area of weakness for another. We have seen that for our little ones with very limited vision, the acquisition of some skills have been quite delayed, particularly self-help skills, social skills, and expressive skills.
One child, yes, is going to be a great talker, and the next child is maybe a later talker. But visual impairment will play into that, but it may not be the only factor that's contributing to that delay in language.
And sometimes it's tricky trying to find things that you can fit into their lives so that they can understand what it's all about. Because
I need a flip.
like all of your reading book toys and stuff are so geared toward find the puppy dog on the page, and these kids can't find a puppy dog on a page. And so it's kind of tricky trying to figure out how you're going to gear all of this to them so that it means something. And that's probably the biggest struggle for any parent of a blind child, is trying to bring their world to them so that they understand what's going on.
What we've seen here is that kids do catch up, but it may be a little slower process than we would like to see, or that parents would like to see. It takes a little bit longer.